back and we better. But you know, before we start, I have to ask, how are you feeling today? How are you doing? Have you looked in the mirror and told yourself that you're beautiful, that you are worthy, that you are capable? If not, stop this video, go do that, and then come back and we can get started.
Yes. I'm talking about how you can be successful during your 30 year.
So it's gonna be real informal, real quick and straight to the point, but very useful because, you know, 30 years different. It's different from your first 2 years. You're not studying in your books all the time anymore. Like, you're interacting with patients and like faculty and staff. So these tips will help you be successful.
Yeah. I think overall, from some of our update videos over the past year in regards to 30 year, I feel like we've kind of conveyed to you guys that we haven't really had very negative experiences. I feel like I kind of walked into 30 thinking that I was going to be bamboozled.
We were so like stressed and anxious going into 30 years because of just stories that we heard. Yeah. But literally, like, knock on wood, I mean, we're 4 years
right.
But like our 30-year experience was actually really good and like actually very enjoyable.
Like work-life balance is something that we prioritized, and I feel like that's what kind of made our situation very different because I was expecting to be chewed out by residents, chewed out by attendings, to not be able to eat on wards or on rounds. But I felt like our residents advocated for us to a certain degree, and they made sure that we were still learning. Our attendings made sure that things that we were seeing or that we were seeing were something that was like applicable to this test that we were taking at the end of the month. So I think for the most part, like we really had a really good experience. So I'm not gonna we can't sit here and give you all the tea on anything.
Like even in like the rotations that were known to be rough, like surgery and like OB, like we had very, very good experiences. Like the residents were nice, the attendings were nice. Like nobody gave us any attitude. Like we didn't experience. I mean, we had like there's some microaggressions, of course, but it wasn't anything that like
clouded our whole experience.
Yeah,
so I really can't remember too much that really like put a damper on my whole experience.
Yeah. Overall, it was very positive.
And of course, your whole experience depends on your residents. It depends on the attendance you have.
It's so dependent
on
your
students. Yes.
Like your team really dictates how your 30 year is gonna be. Because literally, like we had good experiences, but if we talk to some of our fellow students, like their experience, whether good or bad, was completely different from our experience on that same rotation. Because like there's different services that you can go that you're placed into depending on like the rotation that it is. So like, and even now because of COVID, like things are even more specialized.
Yeah.
So like. Yeah. It really just depends.
30 year really is a luck of the draw, and it really will test you in regards to you practicing. How can I be flexible depending on who I'm interacting with? Because I mean, there's some nurses who weren't that kind, but at the end of the day, you can kill people with kindness. Like you can always just
choose to be positive. You choose to be kind. You know, you choose to be respectful. Like you don't have to have people's negativity affect you.
Not at all. It shouldn't. And it shouldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get into it.
Diving right in. Just to segue off of what we just talked about, don't take things personally.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. Don't take anything personally. Whether you have a patient who's having a bad day.
That
happens a lot. They just were told a bad diagnosis, or they were told they can't get discharged that day. And you walk in at 6 a.m. talking about how's your pain, or my name is NECA, I'm in 30 minutes. They're looking at you like, who are you?
And they have so many people who walk in that room. Like, it's crazy because I knew like it's a teaching hospital, like these patients see a lot of people, but like literally they always have somebody coming in and out, whether it's a nurse, whether it's a student, whether it's PT, whether it's like OT, whether it's this consult or that consult. Like they have so many people coming in and out of the room. And so like from a patient standpoint, like it's frustrating. So don't take anything personally. They could be like on 2 hours of sleep or less. They could be in like
the machines are not in
pain. Like, so you just have to realize that we're coming in usually early in the morning to like round and pre-round and stuff. So like they tired. Like if somebody came in my room at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. asking me how I'm doing, how do you think I'm doing?
I haven't slept. That isn't that great. The bed is uncomfortable, like, and sometimes you walk in with no confidence. You timid, you're shy.
And they
look at you like, who is this child in my room? Like, I'm trying to sleep. So I usually walk in like, hey, I know this is gonna be real quick questions I got for you, and then I bounce because I know like I don't need to be there for more than 20 minutes.
Yeah, I always preface with like, I just have to do this. Like, the more you cooperate with me, the quicker this will go, and the quicker I can leave.
Like I said, don't take things personally with the patients, with the nurses. Nurses are tired too, especially your attending, especially your residents. they are not, for the most part, they're not mad at you. They're probably just tired.
Or there's a situation that's going on that's causing them distress. Like, there's usually something else. Usually it's not you, unless you were annoying. But like, usually it's not you. So don't take things personally.
So
if you know it's you, then you need to kind of reflect and figure out what's going on. But usually it's not going to, I'm seeing I play all day. But usually it's not going to be you.
For sure.
Something else.
For sure.
So yeah, don't take these personal. And then number 2, be on time, be early actually. So like you'll get a sense of like when you have to show up to things, but of course like for the first week or like the first day, be sure to ask the resident, because usually it's the resident who you're going to be in correspondence with. So ask them like what time do I need to be here, show up early, be prepared, so you can make sure that you're able to have enough time to like round on your patients, especially like early on. You're not going to be as fast doing things and like seeing patients, so you want to make sure you give yourself an ample amount of time to like do what you need to do. So if that means getting there an hour early, get there an hour early. If that means getting there 30 minutes early because you're a little bit more efficient, get there 30 minutes early, but just make sure you give yourself enough time.
For sure. Third thing is ask questions. But ask questions at the right time. Ask questions, but like read the room is kind of what I wanted to say. So basically, I think I don't know. I feel like surgery has a very, what's it called? They have a reputation of being like very cut and dry, very to the point. They're trying to get to the OR. That's it. So in the mornings, our rounds are so much shorter. And I feel like you can kind of get the sense at like 6 a.m. they're not going to answer anybody's questions. But you can prepare questions while you're in the OR. You can showcase that you've read up on the case. Yeah. You can showcase that you're a good student and that you're very engaged and all those things. But if you see that we're trying to get through rounds, and the rounds are supposed to be like 30 minutes max, 15 minutes if you really be serious, I wouldn't ask questions at that time because they are not in the mood to talk to students. They're just trying to like get through the patients,
so they get to their cases.
And get to their cases.
Yeah.
So just pick and choose when you want. Have questions prepared always, but just pick and choose when you want to ask them throughout the day.
Because there is definitely a right time and a place to ask questions. Like,
you can't ask a question when a patient is coding. That's not the time.
And you really have to be able to pick up on social cues.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Which you think is very simple, but a lot of us, my students, don't know.
Yeah, because we're in our heads. We're thinking that because we're always getting evaluated that like the person, we have to ask a question today, so maybe I need to ask a question now, But it's like the resident walked in with an attitude, or they walked in with their face frowned. They probably had a bad day the day before, a bad morning. They probably don't want to be talked to at that moment.
Another good way to like get those questions is when you're presenting, or like if you like research something, or like a learning topic, or something you want to like showcase to your attending that you know, like throw that into like your presentation on rounds. Yeah, that's a good way to get some points. Number 4, fourth thing, use your time wisely. So third year, unlike first and second year, your time is not your own. You have a lot more responsibilities, and you're not able to like study on your own time like you were first and second year. So I would say use the time that you do have during the day wisely. So whether you have 30 minutes worth of downtime like after rounds, or like an hour, like use that time to do flashcards, use that time to do a few questions. Like during third year, it's really not the quantity, it's the quality. Yes. So as long as you're getting some studying in every day, whether it's for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, like just make sure you're doing something. Because it's hard. It's going to be hard to like work all day. Sometimes depending on the rotation, you're working 12-hour days, and then you're expected to go home and study. And some days you won't. Like some days you'll just be tired, and that's okay. You just have to like give yourself grace.
For sure.
But try to use that downtime that you do have wisely. Like do flashcards, look up something, do a few questions here and there, and just stick to like 1 or 2 things.
I was
try to do too much.
Yeah. I was gonna say like stick to a few resources. Stick to a few, okay?
Hopefully the first 2 years you figured out what worked for you, and then you can just focus on that during third year. Be nice to the ancillary staff.
Yes.
So like the nurses, the janitors, anybody who's working in the hospital, be nice. Smile, introduce yourself, ask them for their name, call them by name so they can feel like you know them and you're being respectful. Like it's really important just to be nice to people. I feel like that's something that like is underrated, but it's so important because honestly, like anybody in the hospital, you can need them at any point in time. Yeah. So like just be nice to people.
Yeah. So like she said, introduce yourself. Especially I think it's important when you're in the OR. There's a scrub tech in there that's probably setting up their station. The anesthesiologist might be in there setting up their station. And then the actual nurse that will be in the room throughout the whole time. Yeah. Just introduce, when you walk into the room, because they have to notate your name on like for charting purposes, introduce yourself, tell them who you are, and then ask them what you need from them. Because just walking and talking about, hey, I need a size 6.5 gloves, they're gonna look at you like, who are you?
Honestly, get your own. We can talk. I guess we can make a video about like what to do in the OR. But like, get your own gloves.
Yes. And if you're a baby 30 year, you have no idea it's your first rotation. Ask them.
Bro, there have been so many times that scrub techs have saved my butt. Like literally, because I remember when I first started going into the OR and stuff. This one, bless her heart. This one scrub tech, she's like, baby, do you know how to put these gloves on? Do you know what your size is for like the gown? And I was like, no ma'am. Like, can you help me? And she's like, okay. So we literally walked through putting on gloves, like scrubbing, putting on the coat, and putting on the gown and stuff, like everything. She went through it with me, and I was like, thank you for this. Yeah. And then even just little things about like how to rest your hands when you're scrubbed in, and like little things that people don't tell you, like she told me, like she helped me out. So definitely be nice.
Yeah. Because we had like, in third year, we had like a transition to third clerkship week. But you forget so much of that.
And when you're in the moment, you're nervous, and it's like all that stuff.
You're gonna forget all of that stuff.
Just goes out the window. Yeah. Also, you can bring snacks. We were blessed because all of our residents made sure that we ate in attendings as well. They like, have you eaten? It's time for lunch.
Right.
Get lunch. Did you eat breakfast? Yeah. Like they would ask us and like check up on us. So I really never needed to carry any snacks in my bag. But I know some people like carried protein bars or like trail mix or like little things they could stick in their white coat pocket or like in their scrubs or something. And you can do that just in case you don't have time to like go get food. Because I know during surgery sometimes it can be hard, but honestly even during surgery they're like, okay, we have like an hour or 30 minutes before our next case, go ahead and grab some food and like come back. So like you'll have time if y'all's experience is anything like ours, like you'll have time to eat. But if you just want to be extra prepared, then you can like bring little snacks.
Something that I wanted to add is watch your facial expressions. Okay.
The mask helps now.
The mask helps now. But once COVID dies down and it is under control, child, and the masks are no longer, just make sure that I feel like even with the mask, you kind of have to now do a little bit more, honestly, to make sure that you're enthusiastic. You have to speak up. Everyone's like, what you say? Yeah. Like, you gotta project.
You have to enunciate.
Especially in the mornings when you're really tired and you have a whole long day ahead of you. Like, make sure that you have that energy that is of someone who wants to be there. Because people can pick up on energies, okay? And communicate. Communicate. If you need to be somewhere at a certain time, if you have a meeting, don't wait until 30 minutes before your meeting to be like, oh, Dr. So-and-so has to go. And it's like, they're looking at you like, you knew about this meeting yesterday. Why didn't you tell me this early on? Speak up, enunciate. If you are presenting a patient, I don't know what it is about, like, for me, I talk loud anyway. So when I present my patient, I project so the whole team hears me. People don't like when they have to like be leaning in to hear what you gotta say. You slurring your words. You don't seem confident. Like being confident on third year is going to make you stand out. Because even if you don't know the answer to a question or something, like just saying like, hey, I don't know, or I know something about this part of your question, but I don't know the whole thing. Like just having something to say.
That's the thing. Like saying that you don't know something is not enough. You need to say that you don't know it, but I will look it up, but I will get back to you on this topic, and then actually follow up with that and present that information. That is very important.
Sometimes you might feel like, oh, I'm being a gunner, I'm doing the most, but like you need to solidify your application. Okay, you need to make sure that if this is the rotation that you want to go into, this is the specialty that you really want to pursue, that you're putting your best foot forward and like doing the things that make you stand out. Because at the end of the day, like you only get 30 year once, and you need to make the most of it. And just like I said, like communicate and be confident, because you're not gonna know everything. You're gonna be pimped a lot throughout your third year. You're not gonna know the answers to everything. You're not supposed to know the answers to everything. They're really gauging. Some people enjoy making us squirm a little bit, but most of the times the attendings are asking because they're trying to gauge where you are and your understanding.
They want to help you learn. Like they want to help you get to the point where you are competent enough to like be a great physician. So be a team player. Like she said, there's going to be some rotations where you want to do more because you're interested and you need letters. But don't sabotage other people to get to that point, because that's not good. And like working together well as a team will take you further than shining on your own. And that's going to take you far throughout residency, throughout being a physician, Because if you think about it, being a healthcare provider, being a physician, you are the leader of a team. Like, you have to work with other people every single day of your life. And so they want to see those attributes during med school. Like, they want you to be good at working together. Because you're not going to like everybody who you work with, but that's life. Like, you still have to be nice. You still have to, be kind to people and work well together. So, like, don't sabotage other people to, like, get to the top or to stand out. Like, work well with the team, and that will take you very far.
So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and really found some helpful tips. If you have any more questions for us, obviously you can leave comments down below or DM us. If you have any extra things that you found helpful during your 30 year, leave it down below.
Share
with the crowd. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with a friend or 10. And yeah, we'll see you in our next video.
Bye.
Bye.